Hello, I'm Joshua Villarreal. I'm a clinical pharmacist and lead clinical educator at the University of Washington Medical Center in Seattle and with the College of Pharmacy. I've been a pharmacist for about 30 years now, and I've really enjoyed it. It's truly been a satisfying and enjoyable career. I think what I like most about it is that there's so many different ways to practice pharmacy. Uh, I really always wanted to make an impact in my community and improve the health of those around me. And I've been able to do that in a variety of different ways as a pharmacist. I've worked in cardiac clinics, working with patients who require heart health. I've worked in intensive care units and emergency medicine. I've worked in operating rooms and I've worked in administrative settings. And there's really no limit to how you can use knowledge of the medications around us to improve the life of the people around you. It's been very satisfying. I went to school at the University of Arizona in Tucson and actually did a lot of my undergrad and pre-farm work in community colleges, which was very important, I think, not just financially, but also in preparing me for school. And when I graduated, I realized that what I really wanted to do was work with medical teams in a hospital setting to make sure that patients coming into the hospital were receiving the right medications at the right dose in the safest way. So I did a residency after I graduated at the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia and spent a lot of time learning about medications in the hospital setting. Uh, and then after that, I was really kind of interested in the policies that affect medication use and health and how that affects the communities around us. So I got a degree in public administration, and I get to kind of put all of that together in a lot of different ways. Now I mostly work with students and I work with the pharmacists that work with students. So I get to see people kind of beginning to understand medications for the first time. And that's really just a joyful experience. I also get to talk to a lot of high school students and I get to talk to a lot of college students who are thinking about pharmacy and explaining what it is that we do. I think I've always been interested in this. I grew up in a community where we didn't always have access to healthcare. And so if you weren't feeling well, the very first thing you would do you'd go out into the garden. We used a lot of home remedies. We would call them remedios. And they were kind of herbal remedies and plant-based remedies that were handed down over centuries and centuries. And I was always fascinated at how well they worked. It just really amazed me that I have a rash or my skin is burning and this little cactus suddenly makes me feel better. How does that happen? The woman behind me, Graciela Sesma, is a curandera and kind of uh, is the kind of person that would take those remedies and really kind of cultivate them into a high art. I just always wondered, how does this stuff work? Is there a scientific basis? Because it seems like magic. And it turns out there is a scientific basis behind all of it. There's a reason why they work. I've always enjoyed learning about that. I still enjoy learning about it. But honestly, it still seems a lot like magic to me. I think it's the closest thing that we can come to that magic is. So, a lot of people say, well, how do I know if I want to be a pharmacist or a nurse or a physician or a social worker? And those first steps in school tend to be the same. A lot of those classes are very similar. And if you kind of have an interest in how the chemistry of it works and how these medications and these substances alters our body and the physiology, you might just kind of be interested in pharmacy. And I would say if you think you might, or if you have an aptitude, you don't have to be the greatest student in the world. You don't have to be a straight A student. You just kind of have to have a curiosity for it, and you have to enjoy learning about that. And if you do, there are plenty of us out there that want to talk to you. There are plenty of pharmacists who would love to spend time with you explaining what we do and how many different ways there are to do what we do. And I really encourage you to look into that because I would have to say it's been just a tremendous joy in my life. And it's been a pleasure to talk to you today. Thank you.